Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the TwitchCon foam pit, which might be the actually weirdest thing that we've ever individually covered here on the channel. I've never really talked about like a foam pit at an event or something, but more or less this video is about TwitchCon's mismanagement and how their failures to actually provide an adequately safe environment for not only streamers but for fans alike has led to someone's back literally being broken in two different places and having to have a metal rod installed to support their back, as well as injuring several other people reportedly. So TwitchCon, if you don't know, I don't blame you for not knowing because everybody seems to hate Twitch at this point. It's almost like VidCon, if you know what that is. Essentially, it's just a convention where like a bunch of popular Twitch streamers show up. You can do like meet and greets with them. They have a bunch of games and events and fun stuff to do. It's like a big celebration of the Twitch community, or that's what it's supposed to be, right? Now, a lot of your favorite content creators probably end up going to TwitchCon, especially if they stream over on Twitch. Personally, these kinds of conventions have never really been my thing. I've never even been to VidCon, let alone like a TwitchCon or something like that, but not really my thing. I don't know. There's been a lot of problems with TwitchCon in the past, right? Like there's been all kinds of different things from, reports of people being drugged, to now situations like this. It's just not really been an event that I personally have wanted to attend. It seems like it's mismanaged just about every single year in some way, shape, or form, and this is just no exception, man. So I'm going to show you guys a video here in a second, but I want to provide you guys a little backstory. So this is happening to someone by the name of Adriana Chechik, who is apparently a porn star, or was a porn star, but now she streams on Twitch. Well, she ended up going to TwitchCon since now she's a popular Twitch streamer or whatever, right? And apparently they had like this big foam pit, you know what I mean? Like a big square in the ground where it's just filled with a bunch of like foam balls or cubes or whatever, right? And the idea is you can like run and jump and flip into these things, and it gives you a soft cushion to land on. It's fun, it's almost like a ball pit for kids in a way, right? Well, the problem is they absolutely screwed up how they handled this foam pit, and it resulted in Adriana literally shattering her back.
Oh my gosh!
Big Simba's getting some sense of her own.
You good?
Great victory there.
I can't get out. Are you okay?
She's held down by the Biffle medic.
Gravity.
No, she's fine.
All right, we'll make sure she's okay. Get her out of the pit.
Landed on her tailbone.
Yeah.
Now she lives in the pit now, kind of thing.
Alright, so that video actually like makes the hair on my arms stand up because it's just so, you know what I mean? Like you can tell how bad that hurt. You can just tell by how everything went down that was just probably one of the most tremendously painful things that can happen to your body. Having your back broke is a very significant injury, and the problem is she broke her back in two separate places. And from what I've heard on social media, and I believe what she tweeted out, she has to now have a metal rod inserted into her back to help support her back. All because she decided to do a pretty basic jump in the TwitchCon foam pit, you know what I mean? So a lot of people have now basically been talking about like, oh, the lawsuit's gonna go crazy. She's definitely got a lawsuit on her hands and whatnot here. But what I've heard on social media from people attending the event is actually insane because it just doesn't even mentally make sense to anyone, right? So apparently this foam pit isn't like a 5-foot deep foam pit or anything. Apparently it's literally like a concrete square in the ground that they like hastily filled with a layer of foam cubes. Like, foam cubes were going to be enough protection from fucking backflipping onto a layer of concrete. So apparently, like, if you just jumped into this foam pit, you were at risk regardless. Because, I mean, you're jumping into a fucking concrete pit, right? Like, that doesn't make sense. It's essentially the same thing as like emptying your in-ground swimming pool in the backyard, filming it with some foam squares and just hoping to God that it's going to work out well for you. Like, it's not a good idea. And now this woman's back is broken in two different spots. Like, and you can tell from the video how painful that was. I gotta say, she's a fucking champ, because if I broke my back in two different places, oh my God, dude, you'd have known about it instantly. I would have been screaming, bro. A tear might have came to my eye. I'm not even gonna lie. She definitely toughed it out way better than I could have, because I would have been not only fucking pissed, but I would have also been in some pretty severe and intense pain. But she completely thugged that one out, I gotta say. She definitely showed pain and like showed injury, but like for having her back broke in 2 different spots, like, she actually really handled it pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, apparently this foam pit was just a concrete slab in the ground with some fucking foam squares in it and everything, right? So apparently this isn't the only time someone got injured in this foam pit. Apparently now up to like 4 different people have been hurt by jumping into this foam pit. From my knowledge, none of the other injuries have been as significant as having your back broke in 2 different places, but there's still significant injuries nonetheless, because when you go to a convention like this, when you go to an event like this, safety is supposed to be like the #1 priority for the people holding the event. Like, nothing is supposed to come above everybody having a safe and fun time at your event. People should not have to worry about going to TwitchCon and wondering if their spine is going to be dislocated by the time they, you know, get on the plane to go back home, right? Like, that's just not something people should have to worry about. And unfortunately, well, with TwitchCon, it's so mismanaged that guess what? Just like the actual platform, it was completely fucked up. I really want to know whose idea it actually was to do this, right? Like, I get having the foam pit. That's not the problem. I'm not mad about them having a foam pit. I'm mad about who set this up the way they did, because they gotta win an award for like the dumbest motherfucker of the year award for thinking that this was actually gonna work out okay. This was gonna be good for anybody, really. So, like I said, people are talking about, oh, the lawsuit's about to hit crazy. The lawsuit's gonna go nuts. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm no lawyer or anything, so I don't know how this all works. I don't know if there's going to be a lawsuit. I mean, it really depends on, I guess, whether or not Adriana Chechik feels that she can get something out of TwitchCon for this whole thing. I got to imagine that somewhere there has to be some sort of legal precedent that states like, hey, an event can't literally host something that breaks your fucking spinal cord, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just imagining that that can't be a thing. Like, there has to be some sort of liability, right? Like, just off the top of my head, like, I'm trying to think, like, there's gotta be some sort of liability for TwitchCon here, right? Because I guess if it was like a one-off incident and she was like the only person who got hurt in the foam pit and it was just like a freak accident or something like that, maybe there wouldn't be a lawsuit. But like I said, social media is talking about multiple people got hurt, which indicates to me that there's like actually something designed wrong and fundamentally wrong with this foam pit. Once again, probably the fact that it's over a layer of fucking concrete. If that is the case. I mean, whatever it is that they put below it, it doesn't have to be concrete necessarily, but whatever they put below it, just a stupid idea in general, because it could not have been supportive enough to like do this with. But yeah, I have no idea. I don't know if TwitchCon's gonna see a lawsuit for this, and if they do, who knows if it'll even be successful. You gotta think at the end of the day, it's really gonna be up to a judge. Like, is a judge gonna be able to take a look at a video like this and deem that like Adriana Chechik didn't do this to herself, or like didn't put herself at like some sort of immediate crazy risk or something, right? I feel like it might have been different if she tried to do like a double backflip spin dive into it or whatever, but she just kind of like legitimately turned and just like did a basic jump into it. It's not like she really put herself at risk, I feel like. I just genuinely think like you could reasonably expect in this situation after that jump that you'd be safe jumping into the foam pit, right? Like, it wasn't some crazy ass jump where she went head first or something, like, but you gotta think, imagine if she tried to like Scrooge McDuck into the foam pit and like went head first or something. If it was enough to break somebody's spine, or back, I should say, I'm imagining it low-key might have been like bad enough. It could have been fatal if somebody landed on their head. Like, someone's brains might have been spilled out on the fucking foam pit kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like, if it was bad enough to break someone's back twice in 2 separate places off a basic jump, like, yeah, imagine if like a fucking little kid went head first into this. I mean, whoever designed this should just genuinely feel ashamed in the first place, because it wasn't safe enough for the people at this event, and it just was a fucking ridiculous idea in the first place, whatever it is that they set this up like. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if TwitchCon ends up seeing a lawsuit out of this and everything. I don't know. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, not jumping in the TwitchCon foam pit, and signing out.